Hello everyone and welcome back to the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Cullen and we're going to start episode 1 of HEXplore, the Valley of the Dead King. So many of you came up with some awesome names, but I have to give the big shout out to Paul. I decided to go with Paul's names because they are so awesome. We have Jip Tanglesnare as our leprechaun and Steeljaw Grim Growler as our berserker. I love those names! So before we actually jump in and start playing, we do get to purchase some upgrades in the city. And I asked you guys for some input. I also thought about it myself, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to get 2 items that are specific for our entire group, and that is climbing gear and reliable mounts. Climbing gear is going to allow us to move on to mountain tiles. One of the quest cards, we need to get to a mountain tile to help the dwarves, and I'm planning on doing that first, so that's why we got climbing gear. The reliable mounts allows us to have our movement increased by 1. So normally we get 4 movement to move normally, or 1 movement for moving cautiously. But now since we have reliable mounts, we'll get to move 5 normally, or 2 for the moving cautiously. You'll see that the reliable mounts cost 6 gold per hero, so that was 6 for each of our heroes, as well as the climbing gear was 2. So that's a total of 8 gold per hero, so we now only have 16 gold left to play with. We're also going to have each of our heroes buy this camping gear, because it's just why not? It's permanent, and allows us to heal 1 health and 1 energy before the movement phase on each game turn. Sweet! So, we each bought this, awesome. Each of our heroes now only have 12 money left. So with our 12 gold, Jip is going to upgrade his Explorer 2 times. So we upgraded that to 7. That cost a total of 7 money. This was a 3 and that was a 4. The next time we want to upgrade it, it's going to cost us 5 gold. We also wanted to upgrade our specialty trap here. That cost us 4 gold, but now we have a 5 here and that's awesome. And you'll see why when we start fighting. I'll show you how this trap works. 7 plus 4 is 11, so we literally had 1 more gold left, and that's perfect to get some rations. For 1 gold, each ration purchased equals 2 units of food. So we just bought 2 units of food. We're now carrying a total of 4 food. So we'll be able to last for 4 rounds now, potentially. We maybe even more if we can 1 or 2 times roll a 2 or under on our survival die before we have to get more food. For Steeljaw, what we did is upgraded our survival ability 2 times. That was a total of 7 of the 12 remaining gold that we had, and now we're up to a 7 stat here. So it's going to be likely that we won't have to eat, which is the whole reason why I did that. We also used 4 gold to buy 8 rations, so we're all the way up to 14 food. And what's really nice about that is if he doesn't have to use a ton of his food, if ever Jip runs out, Jip can use his food, so that helps us. This does leave us with 1 coin left over, and you guys, I'm crazy, but I really like playing with actual coins instead of using just writing a number here, and that's what's going to change a lot. So I decided I'm going to use the coins from the new role player expansion. I hope that's okay. But yeah, those will not come in the game. That's just something that I'm going to use to bling it out or make it feel a little bit more real. I mean, come on, we have a leprechaun here. We're going to be stealing gold all the time. And with that, I think we're ready to start the game. So I want you guys to see this. This is how your turn will go. You'll start with movement, move to the skill phase, then the circumstance phase, the event phase, and finally, the Dead King. So let's start with the movement phase. And what's really nice is they have this awesome place card that shows you the breakdown of all the different phases of the turns. We're going to walk through this on our first time, and then going forward, I'll just make sure you guys know which phase we're in. In phase 1, we start with movement. There are 4 different types of movement. I'm not going to go through each one because they are kind of lengthy. We're probably going to do every single one of them at some point, so we'll go through those in the playthrough. The one that we're going to do is move cautiously. You are moving slowly and carefully. Move only 1 hex or move your normal rate, which for us is 5, not 4, since we have those reliable mounts. But we have to follow a river or a road. And based on how I read it, it's a river and or a road. So we can do both as long as we're always on a river or a road. In the skill phase then, we'll roll only the explore and survival die. In addition, you may discard the circumstance you roll this turn, which is a really nice ability. As we're up here over in the Dragon's Port, you can see there's a road here and then it connects to a river. And this river here connects over to this location where we have a quest. If I count out our hexes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the river goes all the way to this mountain, we have exactly 5 movement to get to this quest location. Since we're always on a river and or a road, we're able to simply move cautiously, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and move right here. We have one added perk, and that's because we're at the edge of our tile here. We can explore this tile, so we'll reveal the top tile of our tile stack. We can give this tile a flip, and let's see, it is tile K. Oh, cool, and it has a shrine. I'll place this tile right here, and you can see I'm placing the K so that it's facing up, just like all the other letters, because you don't get to choose how this tile is laid out. It's placed based on the orientation of the tile itself. We have now completed our movement. Now we look at our skills. So normally we'd have to roll the navigate die, but since we did move cautiously, we don't have to do that. We will have to roll our explore and our survival die, and we'll have to do that for each of our heroes. Rolling the explore die, we're looking for treasure itself. If your roll is successful, you find treasure worth 2 gold, which I'm really hoping that our leprechaun can do all the time. If you fail, nothing happens. If you do roll a hex, which is essentially a 1, it's going to look like this. I'm hoping to roll tons of these in this playthrough. If you roll a hex on an explorer check, during the skill phase, you find an excellent place to camp and you gain 1 health. Each hero does that. We also roll our survival die in search for food. If your roll is successful, you don't have to consume food. If your roll fails, you have to eat food. And then once again, just like the other one, except for its energy, you gain energy if you roll a hex. And if somehow you roll all 3 dice and you roll all hexes on all those dice, you gain a power-up card and every hero gains that benefit. I've never had it happen, but you never know. Let's have our leprechaun check his skills first. So his explore is 7, so we're trying to get 7 or under, and survival is 2 or under. Yeah, not likely about the food, but treasure? No, we failed the treasure, but we have a hex for the food. So that would mean technically we'd each regain 1 energy, but we're already at full. We did fail at getting gold, which I can't believe. That's a critical failure. You know, I didn't realize this, but Steeljaw and Jip have identical, just on opposite stats, what their skills are. So he's a 2-7, and Jip is a 7-2. All right, let's see what he gets. So he succeeds at not having to eat food. He's under the 7, but he did fail to get treasure. Bummer. Now we'll move to the circumstance phase. What we're going to do is we're going to roll this 6-sided die and pick up that circumstance and read it. Because we moved cautiously, we can decide if we want to encounter it or not. If we don't want to encounter it, we can simply discard it, which is awesome. So that's a nice benefit for moving cautiously. Let's give the hex die a roll. And we rolled a hex, which is a 6. When you roll a hex when you're doing the circumstances, instead of choosing from one of the 5 that we've already revealed, we draw the top card of the deck, and this is the one that we can choose to either encounter or to simply just discard. We have mangy wolves. This is a creature. You know what? Our berserker, a creature, is his favored enemy. Ooh, so we might want to encounter this. They have 8 health and 8 energy, but they could potentially hurt us and cause one of our targets to become bleeding, which would be either Jip or Steeljaw. Do I want to take the chance? Because this could give us, look at this, 4 money. It's hard to say no to that. So I'm really liking the idea of 4 gold, and if you look here, I believe we also gain 1 food each, which essentially would mean the leprechaun didn't have to eat last round. I like that. So I think we're definitely going to take on these mangy wolves. Should be pretty easy. Now you'll see down here on the battle mat, there's an area for starter, easy, moderate, all the way up to epic difficulty. I'm going to start at starter, but after we play a couple rounds or a couple videos, if you guys think it's being too easy, we can move it up. Right now, I just haven't played it enough. I don't feel like I can jump it up to easy or moderate. And heck, if we moved up to easy or moderate right now, Jip could get killed by 1 hit from these mangy wolves. So I think let's be on the safe side and do the starter. So what's really cool about this battle mat is you can use this to track the enemy's health and energy. So I've got the health up here of 8 and the energy up here of 8. What we're going to do now is move into the combat rounds. The first step is declare hero actions. So what we're going to do is just do our simple triggered assault. I don't want to use any of our energy yet, so I'm just going to do the triggered assault. That will do 3 points of damage to those mangy wolves. Steeljaw is also going to keep it nice and simple. We're going to do our bash, and that's going to do 5 points of damage. 5 plus 3 is the 8 that we need, so that's why I want to do this. But don't forget, This creature, these wolves, are a favorite opponent, so we're also going to be able to roll a hex die and add additional damage because of that. Don't forget, these two abilities here don't have any usage of energy, but these two do. We'll get to using these, but I think for this time, let's make this nice and simple. Now we get to see what these mangy wolves are going to do. So we rolled, and we rolled a 1. They're going to do dual target health. One target is now bleeding. So what this means is both of our heroes are going to take 3 points of damage, and one of them, and the leprechaun is going to be numbers 1 through 3. Okay, the leprechaun will also become bleeding. If you look here, bleeding targets lose 1 health during the declaration phase of each round of combat. Bleeding continues until the hero receives healing or until combat ends. So the nice thing is we're going to do 8 points of damage and take out those wolves. So I'm not even going to note down that the leprechaun is bleeding. We're going to be done with combat at the end of this round. Moving into the resolution phase of combat, we take our damage. So we went from 12 to 9 for our berserker and from 5 to 2 health for our leprechaun. But of course, 8 damage is done to the wolves, so they are toast. We technically should have rolled this die because of the favorite opponent for Steeljaw, but hey, 8 damage, we're already taking him out, so I just didn't do it. So now we gain the benefit. We're each going to gain 4 gold and 1 food. This is great for Jip because he can use that money to start adjusting some of his rolls. That's why I was really bummed when he did not get his Explore die roll last time. Steeljaw here is not even going to be able to hold any more food. He's at a total of 15. So that finished up our circumstance phase. Now we'll move to the event phase. We are in a quest location, so we can attempt to complete a quest. We'll read the quest card for more detail. The halflings have invited themselves to the dwarven iron mine, Huag Drugar. The dwarves have invited you to escort them back out. Bring them to a city. Until you do, reduce your movement by 1 hex when moving normally each turn. So now what we could do if we wanted, we could ignore this challenge and we could just simply bring these halflings back to a city. If we did, we would gain 1 power card and 3 gold, and we'd be done. But we could try and take on this challenge here, and we might get an additional benefit. The halflings must have loved exploring that mine. They've asked you to take them to another. The dwarves might not like that. Locate another dwarven mine, they share the same map icon, and take them there. They'll give each hero 2 luck stones, which would cost us, it's usually 2 gold per 1 luck stone, so that's like 8 gold. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep. Just so you guys can see, this is the icon that they're talking about. It's kind of small. It looks brownish. I need to find another one of those on the map. The only other mine I see is way the heck over here. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. I mean, I could keep trying to explore and find one, but 2 luck stones, I mean, luck stones are great, but they only cost 2 gold. And I think with our leprechaun, we're hopefully going to be gaining lots of gold. So I'm kind of thinking of just bringing them back to a city. Plus, I do like dwarves, and I don't really want them to get pissed off if I drop off some more halflings there. Now we move to the final phase, and that is the Dead King. What we need to do is roll this die. If we roll a 6, he's going to come out into one of the random cities. If we don't roll a 6, nothing will happen this round. Next round, then, if we roll a 5 or a 6, and I call it a 6, but it's technically the hex, then he'll come out. And that number will keep decreasing until we finally have the Dead King spawn. All we're looking for right now is not a hex. And we got a 3, so we are just fine. That will end round 1. It's a little bit long, sorry about that, but I just wanted you guys to understand the flow of the game. Now, let's go and have some fun. Let's start round 2. To start round 2, the first thing we get to do is activate our camping gear, and we heal 1 health and 1 energy. We didn't use any of our energy, but we definitely can heal the 2 health. We now have 3 and 10 health. Nice. For our movement phase, this time we only get to move a total of 4 instead of 5 because we have those blasted halflings with us. And they're wanting 11sies and lunches and snack and tea time. Ugh, they just make us take longer to move. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little fun here. I'm going to do a normal movement, and I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm going to go here. There's 2 reasons for this. One is because we'll be able to explore 2 tiles now, and maybe we'll find one of them has a mine that we can then bring the halflings to and get those luck stones. Cool. Also, this means we're going to have to do whatever circumstance we roll, but we have Jip up our sleeve, and Jip can use money to adjust the die roll for the circumstance cards. How cool is that? So I feel a lot safer doing this type of movement. Now we're going to move into the skill phase. In order to do that, we're going to roll all 3 of our dice this time because we have to roll the navigation die. And I hope I roll that. Because if I roll that, I succeed and we would not get lost. I doubt that's going to happen. That's the only way I can is if we roll a 1. Well, we did not do very well. We failed in all 3. Look at this. What type of leprechaun is this that epically fails at finding treasure? Oh. We're also going to have to eat food, and then our Steeljaw can still succeed on our navigation die, and as long as half of our group succeeds on the navigation die, we don't get lost. So let's see for him. He has to roll a 2 or higher. Nope, he failed at everything. He had an epic fail on getting food. Nobody's doing well. It must be these halflings. So let's resolve these dice one at a time. First, it's our navigation die. We just got lost. We went a-wandering, and we don't know where we are. So we have to roll this 6-sided die, and depending on which number we roll, we move 1 space in that direction. Of course, before we do that, we get to reveal the 2 tiles that we just explored, the whole reason we went over there. So we have tile F, and we have tile H. You guys, if you look closely on tile F, there is another mine. Yes! So we could go there and we could bring the halflings there. So we may have epically failed in all of our skills, but at least we did find a mine, which is not bad. There we go. I just wanted to do a quick back out shot because one of the things about this game is I think it looks amazing on the table. Doesn't this just look fantastic? I just want to play it just by looking at it. I love the different terrains and seeing the water and the roads and all the different locations. You can easily tell them. Yeah, the mines are a little bit hard to see, but otherwise, yeah, it's pretty cool. Now let's see where we wander. We rolled a 1. Well, that's poetic justice right there. Do you see where that 1 is? We're going to move accidentally and get lost and go into the city. We must have decided that mine was just too far away, and when we saw the city, we ran towards it as fast as we can to get rid of Frodo. I mean, just the halflings. We've now resolved the navigate die. Now for the explore die, nothing happened since those halflings didn't allow us to find treasure. Oh, that's what I'm calling it, okay? And then finally, our survival die, we'll each have to eat some food. So we're going to go from 4 down to 3 again for our leprechaun. And Steeljaw over here, who is hungry, he's going to have to eat 3 food. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Since we accidentally moved into a city, we ignore the circumstance phase. We'll move directly to the event phase. In the event phase, since we're in a city, we can buy items, but before that, we can also turn in quest cards. So we did just complete this on accident, but hey, we found a city, we dropped them off, and we gain 1 power card each and 3 gold each. I love the gold. So that's 3 more gold for each hero. For our power-up cards, we'll choose which player. We're going to do Jip, our leprechaun, first. We'll flip this over. He gets a +2 total. It's just as I thought. Your choice. Distribute this bonus between any of the following: vitals, abilities, or skills. And we can get +2 and we can spread it out. Oh, I think what I'm going to do is upgrade my all tied up. And I'm going to upgrade it by 2 to make this a 4. Because man, this ability looks awesome. And it has what's called strengthened that can happen in it. I still haven't explained this to you, and that's because we haven't used it in combat. I will do that soon, don't worry. But just know that this number can get high quickly depending upon how we use our 2 trap abilities. For Steeljaw, let's see, we have health and energy of body and mind. This raises current and total. Nice. A Berserker now has a maximum of 13 health, 11 current, and then 4 total energy. Since we're in the city, we might as well buy some stuff. I think what we're going to do is buy ourselves 3 potions of this heal 3 health and energy for our trap specialist, for Jip, so that he doesn't die. So that's 3 of his 7 money. And then I think he's going to use the remaining 4 money that he has to buy 2 luck stones. For our Berserker, we're going to spend 5 money. So he's got his 5 right here, and he's going to upgrade this to an 8. Yeah. I don't want to have to worry about food for him. The other thing we do since we completed a quest is we get to draw a new one. We have an Explore in the B tile, and it looks to be in the water. So in order for us to get there, we're going to have to buy a boat. That quest is going to be way up here at the top of the map. Now, you guys, I'm totally ridiculous. I've been so focused on trying to do my quests, I forgot I revealed tile H and I revealed tile K last turn. All three of these quests now should be out on the board, so let's place them. We've got Arul's Tomb, and we've got this duel right here. I believe the Arul's Tomb is right down here, and then the duel is right here. Awesome, look at that. And if you look here on this aid card, we have another shipwreck, so we may want to get a boat soon. I'm not certain if I did mention this, but you can see up here it shows you where on the tile that specific location is, so it can help you find it more easily. So here's that quest right here. Now we're going to roll for the Dead King. A 5 or a 6, and he appears. Oh, that's a 2. We're good. That'll end round 2. And you guys, I think what I'm going to do is, I was thinking of maybe taking out this boss, which I could still do, but look at this. This is tempting me too much. Too many good quests to go on. I could maybe come over here, get this quest, come over here to get this quest. It's going to be a long way to get that one, and then try and end in this city to reclaim all of them, and then level ourselves up a ton. Of course, the Dead King hasn't come out. We don't know where he's going to be, so who knows? All might change when he shows up. To start round 3, the first thing is we get to use our camping gear. Our health will go to 4 and 12. I'll be honest and say I wish my camping gear did that for me. Now we'll start that movement phase. Now we can move up to 2 spaces again cautiously because we no longer have those half lanes slowing us down. So I'm going to go 1, 2. We're not on a road, so I can't do our normal movement unless I want to just do normal movement and then have to roll the exploration die or navigation die. I don't want to have to roll the navigation die, so we're just going to go there. Now let's go to the skill phase. We'll do Jip first. We're looking for less than a 7 and less than a 2. Oh, that's a 7. We finally found some gold. Just barely. So we'll gain 2 gold, but we do lose 1 food. And then for our Berserker, it's going to be a 2 and 8, just opposite dice. Oh, hey, look at that. That's going to allow us to each regain 1 energy. Oh, that's useless. Our energy is full. But he doesn't have to eat, and he does fail at gaining gold. Jip is going to go down to 3 food. Yeah, I'm just a little bit worried about him, but it's actually 2 food. Sorry, 2 food. But that's okay, because remember, we can always use Steeljaw's food if need be. We'll now move to the circumstance phase, and we rolled a 2. We have found the Hunter's Bounty. You've been fortunate hunting this land. Each hero rolls survival. For each hero who succeeds, the group rolls 1 10-sided die. Each hero gains food equal to the result rolled. The die can HEXplode. I don't think I talked to you guys about this, but if you roll this hex, whenever it says you can HEXplode, you basically get to re-roll the die again. And you get to re-roll it again and again and again as long as you keep rolling that HEXplode, and they add together. This first roll will be for Jip. Jip gets a 3. Oh, he's close. I don't think we want to spend coins to affect that. We technically could because we could use his special ability, but I don't think it's worth it because Steeljaw will get to roll his, and he rolled a 9. Okay. Yeah, they just didn't find any food. Oh, that's a bummer. We'll then draw a new circumstance card, and this will be placed in location 2. Thieves! Your gold has been stolen. Each hero loses all gold. Ooh, that just doesn't look good. So we'll hopefully get to do that one when we have moved cautiously and we can just discard it. We're going to skip over the event phase. We have no events here. We're just in the wilderness, hanging out. So now we're going to roll for the Dead King. A 4, 5, and 6, he comes out. Still a 2. Nice. Okay. What we're going to see about next round, my guess is he's coming out next. So starting round 4, first thing we're going to do is each of our heroes will heal up by 1, and we're now at full health each, thanks to that camping gear. So then moving to the movement phase, we're going to move cautiously and move right on to this quest location. Since we moved cautiously, Jip and Steeljaw are not going to have to roll the navigation die. So this is for Jip. A 6, yes, and a 2. Those are both successes, so no food, and our leprechaun gained 2 more gold. This is how it's supposed to be working. We'll now do the same thing for Steeljaw. And Steeljaw succeeded and failed here at getting any gold, but doesn't have to eat any of his food. Nice. We now move to the event phase, and we have Duel. This is a shrine honoring the traveler, one of the 4 paragons. The priest believed that his spirit wandered the forest and riverways searching for a natural artifact from a faraway land that was stolen from him. What we need is to have 1 success of each type. So 1 from our navigation die, which is gonna stink, and then 1 from our exploration, which should not be too difficult for our leprechaun. Our reward once we bring this back to a city is going to be 2 power cards, but I think we also gain this reward if I'm understanding this right. It says heroic reward. Upon finding the traveler, he gives you a special blessing. This will aid us against the dead king, a man he once called a friend. Oh, you gain the blessing of haste. In addition to its power, anytime a hex tile would be revealed, you may choose the new tile from the stack of unused tiles. Yeah, we are definitely going to stay here till we succeed. I do also have to mention, this is within the quest arc. So after we complete this quest, before we can turn it in to get the 2 power cards per player, we also have to complete this quest. I don't even know what it is. It's face down. It might have us going all the way to the other side of the B tile. Who knows? So we have to complete this one first, then the next one. But I still think we get the heroic award once we've done this. So we're going to give this a shot. We're going to start with Jip. Jip will need to get a 1 on this die, though, and 7 or less on this one. Okay, 7 or less. We have now succeeded at our exploration, but our navigation, not so much. An 8, no way. So let's now do the same thing for Steeljaw. We need a 2 or less for him. Oh, that's a 5. Bummer. So we have not completed this quest yet. The other thing you can get at the shrine are all these different items here. Now, one of them is really important. That's this talisman. That's the only way that you can free fallen cities. But you need 4 gold per hero. I right now have a total of 7 gold, so I don't have that. But hopefully next round, because I'm going to stay right where I am, I'm going to roll this die for our leprechaun, and fingers crossed, we may be able to get enough gold and get a talisman. And now we're back to the dead king. 3 and higher. Yep, he's coming out. So to determine which city he's going to come out on, we'll grab this HEXplore die, roll it again, and he's going to come into City 3. City 3 is the Rokto encampment. He is going to come there, and immediately that city becomes fallen.
You will be destroyed.
Currently, the Dead King's movement is 1, plus the amount of fallen cities that he has. So there's 1 fallen city, so his movement is going to be 2. But as more cities fall, he's going to get faster and faster. And if he eliminates all 5 of the cities, he's coming right at us. Next round, what we're going to do is we'll have to roll a die to determine which city he's going to target next. He's then going to move to that city, take it out, and then just keep moving and taking out cities. Let's hope that we can power up enough before he takes out too many cities and beat him. I think this is a good place to stop for our first video. This way, if I've made any significant errors, we can hopefully catch ourselves up before the next one. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying it. I'll see you at the next stop.
You will be destroyed.